Hey guys, I got a 2017 Volkswagen Atlas we're going to be doing front brakes on. Really simple setup. What we're going to do now is we got the wheel off. We're going to undo. See if you can see that or not. There's a caliper bolt there for the bracket. And one right there. We're going to undo those. Now right now they're spinning, so I'm going to take a pair of vice grips, set it right on the inside of that. You can use a wrench if you'd like, if you got a wrench that's skinny enough. Just lightly going to put it there. And I'm going to hold that. Or I'm just going to let it come down. Just let it come down and rest itself on the bracket there. And just keep going until we loosen it. You can see the top spinning there. Now I'm not going to pull it all the way out. I'm just going to get it loosened until it's about out. I'm going to come down and undo this one. And if you can see, it's still doing the same thing. So I'm going to pull these vice grips back off. Tap them in there. You can hold the vice grips right now. I don't have two hands to do that. So I'm going to go, and now I'm just going to pull out the rest of the caliper bolts. Okay guys, once we get this off, we just undo this. And the vice grips, set them aside. We're going to take this caliper here and kind of just wiggle it off. It might be a little bit tight, but wiggle it off. And then what you can do is you can take one of these and buy them at your local parts store. We're going to rip it up, hang it up on the shock there so the caliper's not draining and hanging. And then we're going to get this bolt, which is 21, and there's one more down there. Now they will be tight, so I got myself a 1/2 inch long ratchet. I'm going to get it on there. I'm just going to take it, break it loose. If they are on there tight, they are tight. Just get a longer ratchet and you'll be good. I loosened up that one. I'll do the same thing to that one. Then I like to undo everything by hand so that I don't pull threads or strip anything. You can use a gun. Nothing wrong with it. Just a chance of possibly damaging the threads if you don't know what you're doing. I got that. Got the bottom one, set that aside. Got the top one. Almost out, it's all the way out. Then we're going to take this caliper bracket, pull it out. Pads are still in there, you can remove them on the ground. This car was metal to metal, so that's what your rotor will look like. We're going to take it out. Now we're going to go get a T30 to remove this bolt there, and we'll get the rotor off. Alright, so I've got my Milwaukee 1/4 inch with the T30 on it. I'm just going to undo that bolt there. Now you can use by hand, but even if you're going to do it by hand, you need to do it before you loosen up the brakes. So you can use a screwdriver, pop a screwdriver in the vent there, on the way you're going to rotate. So you actually go down here on this side because it's the right side, so that it will bind up on the caliper, and then you can loosen that up, or you can just get yourself an impact T30 1/4 inch, pulls it right off. Now we've got the rotor, we're just going to remove the rotor. That's what it looks like. And I've got the other rotor here. I'm going to go get it all cleaned off, and I'll show you guys how to clean it. Okay guys, so we're going to clean the rotor now. You can see all these. They come shipped with some kerosene. I think it's kerosene product they put on rotor, so when they ship them across the ocean, they don't get rust on them. So you can either take some brake clean, which we have here, spray it on both sides, wipe it down, or Centric went through a class and told you to use soap, dish soap, and you can put dish soap in there, scrub it, wash it all off, or scrub it all and then wash it all off with water on both sides. I'm going to use parts brake clean because I don't have any dish soap. We just ran out. I'm going to get that all washed. So there's one side, and then I just take a little bit of paper towel. I don't like to use pink rags because it will leave the particles on there. If you take a rag and just kind of wipe it all clean, flip it over. Do the same thing on this side. I try to wash my hands so I don't have the dirt and grease from the car getting on the new pad or new rotors. You want to make sure you don't touch the rotors and pads with dirty stuff because any particle gets on the rotor and stuff could cause it to squeak. So you just want to get it all clean. Now once we got it all clean here, now we're going to go put it on the car. Hey guys, so since I had two hands, I just kind of put this in. I started the set screw by hand. I'm just going to take my gun, screw it in. Now it's nice and tight. Make sure all your bolt holes line up. And then we're just a reverse order of how we came apart now. So now we're going to take our caliper bracket here. We're going to put that on. I'm sorry for the camera angle. As you guys can see, stick the bolt in. Now, I always like to start everything by hand before you use any electric or any air gun. Start it by hand so that you don't cross thread the caliper. Everything just goes in nice and neat, because if you cross thread it and you pull the threads, you're going to have to buy either a new caliper or a spindle depending on the car. So I like to go in as far as I can, just hand tight. I'm going to grab the other bolt and do the same thing down here. Nice and tight. So then I'm going to walk over, grab the pads. Now some cars, it depends on your pad style. Both these pads are similar, so you don't have to worry. They come with a brake pad sensor. Some models do, some models don't. So we're going to take this, put it right on down there. Some people use anti-seize, some people don't. If they come with new shims, I would replace them. My brake pads did not, so I just cleaned them off, reused them. I just set that pad in there like that. Then I'm going to grab the other side and do the exact same thing, so they're nice and neat. Now we're going to take our caliper and I'm going to show you how to compress it. Some people say you have to break the bleeders. That's a preference of some people. You can break the bleeders, compress it slowly, or you can do it with everything secure. You just need to do one side at a time and go nice and slow. Make sure you're not trying to push a piston out. I'll show you how to do it. I got my nice brake caliper tool here. You can buy it at your local parts store. I use this one because it's better for a dual piston caliper. You're just going to go nice and slow. Let them all go in until you'll actually feel it bottom out. Just go until you're all compressed. Right there, bobbined out. Now we just release that a little bit, pull it out. You see calipers all the way in. So from there, we're going to pull this off the shock, undo it, pop it all nice and in. where we're sitting there. And then if you guys didn't pay attention, our top bolt with the little rubber around goes up top. And we might have to do the reverse order with the vice grips, depending on if it's going to take or not. And we did check these pistons. I forgot to say, make sure these pistons, you got movement in them back and forth like we do, so they're not seized up. So we're going to start that top one, start that bottom one, and then we're going to get these bolts tightened. I'm going to have to use both hands, so I'm going to go grab my vice grip, set them on there, and tighten those up. So lastly, after getting done those tightening, we want to double check all our work. Hope you guys have been paying attention, because you'll see I forgot something. I tighten this up. This one's tightened. And this is why we always check our work, is I didn't tighten up the brake caliper bracket bolts. So we're going to take our 21 and a ratchet, we're going to turn around, tighten those. You don't want to go super tight that you pull the threads, but enough that you're not going to come loose and leave you stranded. Tighten those up. And after that, you're all done with the brakes. Just put the tire on, and then make sure you pump up the brake pedal in the car before you put it in reverse. And once you're in reverse, it's all pumped up and you're good to go. Just go and brake in the brakes, go easy on it for the next, I would say, about 30-40 miles. Get yourself some extra distance, let those brake pads and the rotors set in and actually meet in where they're a nice groove, and then your brakes will all be broke in. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.